dd2 carts then being released onto the circuit for their final heat of the day here at Valencia in Spain. And the way the grid lines up again after all the qualifying we had yesterday is going to be as follows. It sees an all-Spanish front row with Jorge Carlos Pescador starting from pole position. Alongside him will be Oriol Danmu Caballero in kart 619. Row 2 then headed by a very strong Glenn Van Parijs. Good to have him back once again this year. And Bradley Liebenberg is the man alongside the South African. Back on row number 3 we then see the likes of Kasper Bilecki with Kevin Ludi, last year's DD2 champion and also the BNL champion from 2016 as well. Row 4 is headed by Ivan Martinez, the Spaniard, once more, with Finnish driver Vili Valainen alongside that. On to row number 5 is going to be Marcel Schirmer with Konstantin Scholl. Then on to row number 6 is going to be the Brit Barry Pullinger with Gerard Sebrin Aditsa alongside another Spanish driver in the field. Row 7 headed by the Russian driver, which is Harold Garkaklis, and Philip Siwa rounds out that row. Then on to row number 8 is going to be Cosimo Francesco Durante with Fabian Land, the South African, on the outside of that row. Row number 9, Christoph Adams, the first of our Masters runners here, those over the age of 35. Alongside him is going to be Imre Barizdo in kart 625. Row 10 then has the likes of Michel Biffiger with Andrew Williamson in 20th place. Row 11 is going to be then Slavomir Moransky, one of the Masters runners once more, with Rafael Villanueva in kart 631. On to row number 12 we have Joel Altonen with Ilja Oloskins alongside, and row number 13 will then see Jonathan Patesi with Maxim Shaposhnikov rounding out the 26 starters for DD2 once again in this third heat of the day. Carts now working their way round the track with Jorge Carlos Pescador, the man to beat so far today, because he's had 2 wins, which gives him 0 points so far, and that will give him provisional pole position depending on how this heat shapes out. But of course this is very different conditions to what we've had so far today. Very wet, very skittish, could be very treacherous, and could not favour a few people towards the front. It could help those a little bit lower down on this occasion. We'll have to see how it all shapes up for them, but it's looking very good for Jorge Carlos Pescador if he can keep himself towards the front. He has 0 points. Oriol Danmu Caballero has 6 points. He's tied with the likes of Kasper Bilecki and also Kevin Ludi. Vili Valainen's in 5th place with 13 points. Marcel Schirmer has 16 points. So does Konstantin Scholl, and Brad Liebenberg has 19. So it's pretty open towards the front, but very, very tight for 2nd, 3rd, 4th to depend on who gets the first row and who gets the 2nd row. We've had one late starter from the Parc Ferme area. That's Gerard Sebrian Aritza. He's got a long way to go to try and catch up. He's going to be trying to catch up for the rest of this race, I think, because he's only now just left the pit lane, and the front runners on their way down the back straight in towards the last couple of corners. So they're going to take it as slow as they possibly can, but it means now that Gerard Sebrian Aritza is going to have to go as quick as he possibly can if he wants to catch up with the rear of the pack, and that has pretty much ruined this race for him. But of course, if all the drama unfolds in front of him, he maybe have a chance of catching up. But here we go then, 10 laps for DD2 once more. The field being led down by a poleman, Jorge Carlos Pescador, with Oriol Danmu Caballero alongside. How will these 10 laps shape out? We're about to find out from the DD2 competitors as they work their way on towards the start-finish line. The final race of the day here in Spain. Which way is it going to go? Who's going to grab pole position for the pre-final? We're about to find out as the lights go out. A very poor start from Jorge Carlos Pescador, but Oriol Danmu Caballero has gone right round the outside line in towards the first corner to lead the race. But can he hold off Glenn Van Parijs, trying to get his way down the inside line there on the exit of turn number 1, but it's not quite going to be the case, unfortunately. But Glenn's going to try his best in towards turn number 3 as they all safely have made their way through, but a lot of standing water we can now see on the exit of some of the corners, which is going to play havoc, not just for the drivers but also for the karts as well. So you have to take it very tiptoe on these first few laps, and already Jorge Carlos Pescador has dropped down to 4th place because someone else has dived through in the process as well. That's possibly Brad Liebenberg. Let's try and have a look and work out if that is him. Can't quite see from this distance, but it is Oriol Danmu Caballero that leads the way. Glenn Van Parijs all over his tail on the way through turn number 10. 3rd place then is going to be, I'm sure that's Bradley Liebenberg, but we'll have to wait for confirmation at the end of the first lap. Our pole man is down to 4th place. It just shows he's struggling in these wet conditions. So thankfully he's got his 2 better results done and dusted, because now heat 3 may be a little bit of a struggle for him as they all dive into the last corner. They didn't quite judge the grip there, did they? Because both of them have been caught out. And here now comes the man in 3rd place, which is in fact Kevin Ludi goes through. So Kevin Ludi up into 2nd place. Another fantastic start from that man. So he goes through now into 2nd place ahead of Glenn Van Pries. He's now got to try and do something about Oriol Dalmu Caballero. And of course, if Kevin Ludi gets the win in this one, and Jorge Carlos Pescador finishes lower than 6th place, Kevin Ludi could possibly start from pole position. So watch out to see how that all unfolds in this race as they work their way through turn 6 and 7. Slightly wide there, but finding the grip was Oriol Dalmu Caballero. Kevin Ludi 2nd, Glenn Van Pries is 3rd. 4th place now is Jorge Carlos Pescador. 5th place for Willy Villanen. 6th place is then going to be Konstantin Scholl. 7th place is the likes of Kasper Bilecki, then Barry Pullinger, then Marcel Schirmer, and 10th place for Philip Sewer as they ended lap number 1 of this DD2 heat number 3. Anything changed so far? Not by the looks of it. Looks like Kevin Ludi has taken some very nice lines on towards the back straight. Let's see if he can make a move on the leader down towards the chicane. Not quite close enough there. So again, Kevin Ludi will just bide his time. He'll look for the grip. He'll try and see where the weakness is coming from Oriol Dalmu Caballero, and then he'll probably pounce when he finds his best opportunities. But through he goes now. Already the gap has closed down to less than 0.3 of a second, and Kevin Ludi has just gone and done the quickest lap of anyone, a 1:10.094. So he's pushing on hard, and he's brought that gap down and down to the Spaniard. So this is a great race between the top 2. Gets ever closer through the chicane at turn number 3. On towards the next couple of right-handers they go, and Kevin Ludi now starting to be a real threat to our race leader as they work their way on the exit of turn number 6. Still Glenn Van Pries there in 3rd, and provisional poleman for now, Jorge Carlos Pescador, holding on to 4th place, but starting to slip back from the top 3, and maybe under threat here from Willy Villanen before too much longer. Of course, Willy will be pretty used to these sorts of conditions, living in Finland, with it being wet and snowing most of the time there. And here comes Kevin Ludi to the inside line to try and get the move done, to take the lead of the race from Oriol Dalmu Caballero. He's not quite going to do it there, so they all stay as they were, with Oriol out front in the lead. He's done the best of anyone in Sector 1. Kevin Ludi responded in Sector 2, and is now trying to put all that pressure once again onto the back of the Spaniard. Through the chicane they come for the 3rd time of asking. All over the curbs they go. Kevin Ludi gets a great run though. He gets the inside line down towards the first corner. He then slips back into the toe of Oriol Dalmu Caballero, but he's not going to try anything too risky as of yet. There's still a long way to go, and they want to keep this as clean as they possibly can. So on towards turn 3 they now head. Kevin Ludi, you could not get much closer, and there's a spin there for one of the cars. I think that was Willy Villanen, wasn't it? Yes, 6:05. Willy Villanen has just disappeared. Not too sure how that happened. Must have taken too much curb on the exit of turn number 1 there. So he's lost himself what's going to be 5th position. But everyone else carries on their merry way as the leaders work their way down the back straight. Here comes Kevin Ludi's move once again. Can he get the job done? He looks for the move, but again the grip isn't quite there on the inside line. So Kevin Ludi has to just battle his way through and just bide the time here over Oriol Dalmu Caballero. But he can't be too long here, because look who now has joined the party once more. Glenn Van Pries is tied to the back of the top 2, and here comes Kevin Ludi for a move down the inside line to take the lead of the race in DD2, and Glenn Van Pries is going to try and go with him as well, but he can't quite get the job done. So Kevin Ludi goes through. Oriol Dalmu Caballero goes now down to 2nd place, and Glenn Van Pries goes 3rd. Lots of encouragement from the pit wall once more as they head across the line for what's going to be the start of lap number 5, and Oriol knows he needs to fight back instantly on Kevin Ludi, because normally when Kevin Ludi gets to the front he starts to pull away, so he needs to be very, very quick with his moves that he chooses, or Kevin Ludi will be done and dusted with this race and could pretty much secure himself pole position. But at the minute Jorge Carlos Pescador is doing just enough to stay in 4th place. But here comes Oriol Dalmu Caballero looking for the inside line to try and get the lead back. He's going to be under attack now from Glenn Van Pries, who goes through at turn number 7, and Glenn Van Pries gets himself up into 2nd place. So Kevin Ludi was defending very, very hard indeed there, and that's just caught out Oriol Dalmu Caballero, who's let now Glenn Van Pries through. How long for? Because again the Spaniard trying to fight back. He'll take that very tight line through turn number 10. But Glenn Van Pries now has it sorted, but needs to get away quickly, because again up the road he can see Kevin Ludi just slightly now starting to pull away, which means they're going to be left not in his dust but pretty much in his spray for this race as they turn onto the chicane. It's Ludi now that heads the way by Well, let's have a look at the gap this time through. It was around about 0.2 of a second. I think it's grown slightly with all the kerfuffle from behind. Yes, down to 0.9 of a second between Kevin Ludi and Glenn Van Parijs. Third place at the minute is going to be Oriol Danmu Caballero. Then behind that you got Jorge Carlos Pescador, who is really under attack now from Constantine Scholl. Those two are nose to tail. There goes Constantine Scholl down the inside line, and he has just gone and done the quickest lap of the race as well. Look how much curb he takes as well in the process of turn 3. But yeah, Constantine Scholl, quickest man on circuit, 109.123. So that will help out Kevin Ludi, who of course leads the race. If Jorge Carlos Pescador drops 2 more places from where he is now, he will not be on pole position. But of course, if he stays in 6th place or better, he will be guaranteed pole position for the pre-final tomorrow. But of course, still a long way to go. We've only just crossed half race distance in this DD2 third and final heat of the day. So Kevin Ludi out front by near enough a second. Glenn Van Parijs is second. Third place is going to be Oriol Danmu Caballero. 4th place is going to be now Constantine Scholl. 5th place for Jorge Carlos Pescador. Then you can see the 6th place cart there of Kasper Bilecki. Philip Seewer follows them. Then Barry Pullinger also going better in the wet conditions this time round. Marcel Schirmer is in 9th, and Michel Biffiger sits in 10th position. So that's how the order looks at the end of what will now be lap number 6. Leaders on their way through. There is Kevin Ludi in cart 601, working his way through the chicane at turn 3. Second and third is also one to watch out for again, because Glenn Van Parijs is under attack here from Oriol Danmu Caballero. Look how close those two are, second and third places. Oriol, of course, here at one of his home circuits. There is a cart we've lost. That is 624 dropping down the order. So we'll try and work out who that would have been. We'll come to the Masters as well in a few minutes' time, because we'll update you on how they're all doing. 624 was Ivan Martinez, so the Spaniard, unfortunately, again on his home circuit, is out of the race. I think that was down at turn 1. Yes, it was. Yellow flags or yellow lights flashing down there. So Ivan Martinez now out of the race. Here's the fight for second once more. A little bit spread out now, so Glenn Van Parijs has just done enough to break away from Oriol Danmu Caballero. Jorge Carlos Pescador, I don't think he's under attack, although, to be fair, Kasper Bilecki is going quick in sector 1 as through the chicane they'll come once more. That was Philip Seewer and Barry Pullinger, by the way, who were nose to tail through the chicane and also across the line. So they are fighting for 7th and 8th places. Now on to lap number 8 we have gone. This is our 4th place man, Constantine Scholl, who has gone, again, ever quicker. He's just gone and done the best of anyone in the 3rd sector, and also recorded the quickest lap now, which is a 108.611. Not just a few tenths of a second quicker than everybody else, over half a second better than the rest of the field. So Constantine Scholl, again, relishing these wet conditions and going better and better as the race wears on. So watch out for him now in 4th place. Could be 3rd before too much longer. So he's pushing very nicely through the field. There is our race leader, Kevin Ludi. Kart 601, as we know, last year's DD2 champion, and of course the BNL champion as well. But that man at the tail of that group, Constantine Scholl, is the one to watch out for. 4th place at the minute, and almost getting himself past now Oriol Danmu Caballero as they work their way down to the last couple of corners. Is he close enough? Nope, not by the looks of it. He's still right onto the tail though of the Spaniards as they work their way through the chicane. Look how much curb he takes again. He's loving the curves here in Valencia as he works them very well indeed. So on his way now down towards the first corner. Rain, by the way, has continued to fall here, has not let up whatsoever. Has come back in its droves for this DD2 heat, which is, as I said, playing into the hands of people like Constantine Scholl, who sits there in 4th place, now trying to get his way past Oriol Danmu Caballero. Got to act quick though, because time is now starting to tick away. We've got a lap and a half to go, and Kevin Ludi leads this race, by the way, 1.6 seconds ahead of Glenn Van Parijs. And of course all this battling between 3rd and 4th is just now playing into the hands of our 2nd place man, Glenn Van Parijs. So he's loving this to his heart contents, really, while Oriol Danmu Caballero and Constantine Scholl continue to fight for 3rd and 4th, and they may be joined here before too much longer, although saying that is quite a way back, to be fair. Jorge Carlos Pescador 2.2 seconds off the pace, but there goes the move for Constantine Scholl down the inside line, and already he's up into 3rd place, no question about that. Great move down the inside at turn number 11, and Constantine Scholl has flown by, already down to the last chicane he's now coming. and over the curbs he goes once more. But can Oriol Danmu Caballero fight back now on this last lap? We'll have to wait and see. Looks over his shoulder. Does Constantine? He knows he's still there. He knows he'll probably go for a move at any given point in this race. So he's just got to be wary of that as Oriol takes a nice tight line on the apex of the corner. Constantine not really worrying about what he's doing behind now. He can just focus his attentions on the man ahead, which is Glenn Van Parijs. But I don't think he'll have enough time left within this race to get the job done. So Glenn Van Parijs is looking comfortable for second. Kevin Ludi, I think, should be pretty secure in first place. It's not quite going to get him enough onto pole position for tomorrow's pre-final, but it's going to be a lot better than what he had probably hoped for before Saturday got underway. So Kevin Ludi can really relish these conditions, and he'll probably be praying for a rain dance overnight to get more wet conditions for tomorrow, especially if he performs like this in the wet. But Kevin Ludi has not put a single foot wrong. He's worked his way through from a fairly reasonable grid position, 6th on the grid, up towards the front, and there's going to be no denying our final winner of the day here at the Valencia track as he comes down towards the final corner. Kevin Ludi, last year's champion within dd2, is going to be the final winner of the day here in the class as he comes through to take the checker flag. Kevin Ludi looks over his shoulder and says, "Where are you guys?" They are there with you, Kevin Ludi, but you have taken the last win of the day here to put you in a very, very strong position for tomorrow's pre-final, which kicks off tomorrow morning. So he comes through, Kevin Ludi, as our winner for the team. Done a great job as ever, and he will now win that race by 1.4 seconds ahead of Glenn Van Parijs. And again, a really strong position and finishing result for Glenn in the wet conditions. Third place goes to last year's runner-up within dd2. Constantine Scholl worked hard to come from 10th on the grid up inside the top 3. Again, he can be very thankful for that, and of course he'll be doing as much rain dancing as he possibly can this evening, try and herald the arrival of more rain for finals day. But it is going to be Kevin Ludi, our winner, 1.4 seconds for Spirit Racing ahead of Glenn Van Parijs for the Bouvin Power team. Third place goes to Constantine Scholl ahead of Oriol Danmu Caballero and Jorge Carlos Pescador. Fair to say the Spaniards struggling in the wet conditions here in this final race. Philip Seaware in 6th place, just ahead of Kasper Belecki. Barry Pullinger comes through in 8th place, Marcel Sherman 9th, and Michel Biffiger in 10th. Behind them we had Andrew Williamson with Gerard Sebrian Aritza, Vili Valanen in 13th. First of the Masters this time round was Slavomir Moransky. Just like last year, the wet conditions proving to be very popular for him, so he comes through as our Masters winner in the third and final heat. Joel Altonen is there in 15th place, Christoph Adams, second of the Masters, in 16th place. Then we had Bradley Liebenberg in 17th, Ilja Aloskins third of the Masters in 18th place. 19th place was Harold Garkaklis, and it was Fabian Lanz who rounds out your top 20 after that dd2 heat. So well-deserved win for Kevin Ludi. In terms of the pre-final grid